let's take it back a bit. So you had the podcast. It's only a year old. Before that, was you doing like interviews or anything like that? Where did it stem from?
I actually wasn't, I think I was just a loudmouth on social media, which I'm still at with my chest. But I'm being honest, I'm a very honest person. Like, I was literally just a loudmouth. I'm just like, I think prior to the podcast, I was doing a lot on social media, like the 21 questions and stuff. And like, I was doing a lot of things at uni. So I used to ask people 21 questions at uni, like in the little groups.
Yeah.
Like in the little sections. Hence why like the 21 Network came out. I'm just like, we should really like bring it to the audience, like bring it to the real life, like general. Like, you'll be so surprised about what people generally say. Like, I'm generally shocked every time I ask someone a question. And I'm just like, why would you even ask? But anyway, so I feel like before that I was just doing 21 questions, and obviously my degree's in sociology. So I'm always exploring and I'm always questioning. So I wasn't doing no interviews or nothing. I was literally at uni. I would literally go, my uni friends will tell you, go to someone's table, I don't even know these people, and just be like, can I ask you questions? And they would just do it.
Oh, you was that person. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right, let's pull it. Let's go back to present. Okay. So, podcast, full-time job, mother. You probably do more. How are you? Yeah. How are you?
I don't cope.
So
that's the thing. I don't cope. I feel like literally, even like, I'll be honest, because this is about honesty and like branding and whatever. Not like I think 4 weeks ago, I literally had an emotional breakdown. And I literally had to go to my doctor. Like, mental health is real, but I was just doing too much. Like, I have 3 jobs. I have a child. I'm building I'm building a brand. I also do other things for other people, like that will be coming out soon. I go on other people's podcasts. I help. I write questions for other. Like, I do a lot. But then it comes to a point where you're just like, your mental health and your well-being is so important, and I can't stress that enough. Like, I literally had an emotional breakdown. I just cried and I just couldn't do it. And I just called my doctor, and I think it's just like, you had like really bad anxiety, like an anxiety attack. So because of that, I've learned to prioritize what's important and what's not so important. So obviously my child is my life. So my child also needs me. But when you're a mum that's trying to build a brand and you're still working, and it's a lot, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Like, my advice would be to everyone is like, prioritize what's important to you. And whatever needs to be done now will be done now. Whatever needs to be done in the future will be done in the future. Period. Your mental state, your happiness is so much important. Like, I realized, like, just in general, like, my happiness is the most important thing to me. Without happiness, you can't have drive. You don't have the drive to do what you really want to do. If you're not happy, you need to change your situation. You need to change your environment. Do you know what I mean? So for me, learning how to cope with juggling everything and still build a brand is prioritizing everything. So it meant that I had to cut down my contracts at work. I had to do it because I'm like, if I want to build something, you have to make sacrifices. And that's something that I learned from you.
Okay.
Period.
Sweet.
Do you know what I mean? So I've learned, obviously that was like 4 or 5 weeks ago, but now that I've re-evaluated, like redid my contracts, when I meant I really literally was like, work, here's my doctor's note. It's like I had to just re-evaluate my entire life. Is it by force we must have thunder?
Is that what that was?
But anyway.
Whoa, I heard that.
I was like, is it by force? Sorry. But yeah, so you just reevaluate. So I literally cut down all my contracts and stuff like that, because I knew in my heart that if I want to build something, if I want to spend time with my child, you have to make sacrifices. And that's my advice for everyone. Like, as much as sometimes it seems horrible and it's bad, like, your happiness is so much more important. And when you want to build something and you want to do and you want to balance things, you have to make sacrifices.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So especially now I'm doing more stuff outside of my branding, like people's shows and stuff that's coming out, like I didn't have no choice. I'm stretched as it is. So yeah, but that's what I would say. Mental health is important. Reevaluate everything analyze everything, what's important, what's not important, what can be put on the side, what can be put on the shelf. Just reevaluate everything and then prioritize and just structure everything and make sure that you have people around you that are better than you. I don't like being with people that are like me. No, because I'm boring. Like I don't like it. Like I need to be around people that can teach me and give me knowledge constantly and tell me you're going wrong. Period. Like, and be honest about it. I don't like yes men. I do not like a yes man. Hate it. Always have people around you that are able to elevate you and they're much better than you. The people I have around me, I know who I can call, like, oh, I need help with this. They will advise me, you're making the wrong move, or I don't feel like you should do this, or you should do this, or blah, blah, blah. And that's what you need. And if you want to grow and develop, you need people that are better around you, like much better, way ahead of you. That's how you grow.
All right, cool. You explained the balance and everything quite well in terms of like you being a mother, obviously working full time, and podcast, everything else you're doing in terms of support. But what's been your greatest challenge other than balancing that all out? Has there been any challenges in terms of getting your actual content out, delivering it? Has it been like, when I speak to my friend Christina about her podcast, it's about consistency. And I know
it really is. Yeah. It really is.
And I know about myself is as an artist, if you're not consistent in practicing your form or your art, you become, obviously you lose that rhythm or you don't improve and there's no growth. So how do you feel about that over a long time scale in terms of what's your biggest challenge? Has it been consistency, getting that podcast out? Has there been times where you put a podcast out and you haven't got then there's not much people listen to it? Or, the feedback's been bad? What's the biggest challenge you've ever come across so far?
I think the biggest challenge, and it's going to sound so, I feel like some people might take it, like, oh, there's other ways of doing it. I'm borderline a perfectionist. That's my issue. That's my challenge. That's my biggest challenge for myself, is borderline perfectionist in the sense of consistency is obviously key to growth. However, if I do not like something, I will not pull it out because it's not perfect. That's my challenge, is understanding and telling myself, even if it's not perfect, still let it go out. That's just my issue. Like if it's not perfect or if it's not what I think it should look like or it should sound like, I just don't like putting it out. Again, that affects my consistency, my marketing, all of that other stuff. But that's my challenge, is putting things out that I know is not perfect and just letting it be out there for people to learn or get something from it. But because I'm such a perfectionist, I'm just like, oh, it's just not gonna look good. I can't do it. But that's literally my biggest challenge, is understanding it's okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just let it out. Because that's just my biggest challenge, is learning not to be a perfectionist.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. And I was talking to my brother not too long ago, and he said, like, every day we're fighting for our lives in whatever art form we're doing or anything we're doing, in terms of like, if you're trying to run a business or create something, you can't go into it saying it's going to be like at B level or C level. It has to be A star. If it's not A star, then nobody cares. And then I was like, what? I was like, oh, that's so true. And then we were just laughing about it. So he said, like, you could put a music song out tomorrow, and then if no one's listening to it, or it's not hitting the right strings, or you haven't got like the right, melody or vocalist, nobody cares. So you got to make sure whatever you're putting out in terms of content or music or art or whatever you're doing in your industry,
it has to be at a level. It has to be.
Even though it's podcasts, like the Good Man Factory,
it has to be.
The way they shoot it, I'm not saying it's amazing. I mean, it is amazing for me, but like the way they've shot it on the Instagram, or I haven't watched the YouTube, but because it looks like that's captured me. If they didn't shoot it like that and someone passed me on to the podcast, I may not have listened to it before. I may not have done. Yeah. So,
but that is my point. Like, as a person that obviously knows one of the Goodmans, like the work that they put in, I don't think people understand. Like, I don't want him to mention this because just be like, why you mentioned my name for? But like the work that the cameraman puts in, yeah. I don't know, but I do feel like people get like how it's like, that's why we'll always rate Goodman's Factory, but the work that they all put in, all the cast members and all the people that are involved in that, including their bed oil and everything, the level of consistency and, for me, perfectionism is amazing. But again, as some like speaking to them, like you have, like you said, you have to put things out on the level. We're no longer in the time where it's 2005, you could put out anything and it's not that deep. You have to have lighting, you have to have good sound. And as creatives, that costs money. And that's another issue that no one speaks about. In order to create good content, you need money. And then some people be like, oh, you can just do it at your home. But no, like we have now, we're having sound issues. My house is not soundproof to be doing a podcast at my yard. I have a pitney.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you have to, again, people do not speak about this enough in the creative industry. The money you have to invest just to make something look good and the time, no one speaks about that. So of course, perfectionism is a problem, but no one understands the amount of time, effort, and financial sacrifices people need to put in order to reach, maybe not perfectionism, but a level of like creativity that is catching to the audience. No one talks about that. That's our challenge.
Yeah, totally. And
people are really going broke out here as creatives, you know.
I know.
And some of them, you could, like, for me, that will not be me. In Jesus' name, that will not be me. But like, no, but seriously, and I feel like when people go, oh, why you haven't done? I'm like, because this shit costs money. Sorry, I don't want to swear. Like, it costs.
Right.
No, but it costs money though to get someone to film, to edit, to record. The price starts to add up. And then you have to look at your analytics. What's the best time to post? It's a lot. It's a full-time job. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, people just like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, you see me, I will not stress myself out. When it comes out, it comes out.
Yeah. I hear that totally.